Why the UK? A lot of you have been asking me that. Why not Singapore? Why not other countries around the world? In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 reasons why you should be seriously looking into the UK to invest for property. My name is Daniel and I create videos every week to help you create passive income through property. So let's dive right in. The UK remains one of the top destinations to invest in, and let's see exactly why. Well, first of all, English is the lingua franca. All right, and I can't stress this enough. I've bought properties in many other countries, including Malaysia. And when I received my contract, which was all in Bahasa, and I couldn't understand a single word, I just realized that that's going to be so difficult because I had to get documents translated, added to more cost, and I wasn't even sure if it was translated correctly, right? So the ease of business, just contracts, talking to people, and transacting in English is a huge reason. So that's reason number one. Let's go to reason number two, and that is the strength of the legal system in the UK. I think especially for property investing, which is a relatively large amount, you want to be able to make sure that the legal system is something that is strong. And the beauty of this is most people don't realize the roots of the Singapore legal system can be traced to that of the UK, the English legal system. Obviously, it's evolved from them, but both countries have very, very strong legal systems, and that's a great thing to have, especially when you're looking into property purchases, agreements, and stuff like that. And the third reason is this: the UK actually was ranked number 1 in 2020. This is post-Brexit for transparency in the world. And I think, in ease of business, Singapore, just like the UK, it's an attractive place. Investors feel safe putting their monies there, and they know that in the long run, it's a safe haven, especially in countries where, the legal system is strong, transparency in the markets is there. And I think one of the most important reasons is reason number 4, which is that there are low property prices. Did you even know that you could buy a terrace house in many parts of the UK for probably £130,000 or even £100,000, which is less than 200,000 Sing dollars, which is actually pretty insane if you think about it. What's 200,000 Sing is probably like less than half of a HDB in Singapore, but you can buy a house there. And in fact, if you rent it out, you can even still get a positive cash flow. Whereas in Singapore, most times the rent can't even cover the mortgage, not even to mention making any profit at the end of the month. When I first found out about this many years ago, that just blew my mind. What? You mean I can buy a terrace house in the UK for less than 200,000 Sing? And with the right context, can even get lending on that? That is a game changer, my friends. Number 5, there is a huge shortage of good quality housing in the UK. At the same time, the demand continues to go up. In fact, look at this interesting stat. In the year 2039, research estimates that the number of renters in the UK will outnumber the number of owners. And I think that's something that a lot of us as Asians, maybe in Singapore, we find it hard to understand because majority of us want to own our homes. But actually, in many parts around the world, a large proportion of the population actually rents, and they can actually rent for life. So if you're looking for a place, you want to be a landlord, you want to buy a property and rent it out, then you want to go to a place where there's a high proportion of people who are renters. And these are people holding good jobs as well and looking to rent over time. Yeah, that's happy days for a landlord. Number 6, there is also an increased demand, right? In the midst of COVID, in the midst of Brexit, one of the big side effects of the lockdown, and we see this even here in Singapore, is people are looking for a bigger space. They no longer need to commute to the office as often. So they're willing to move further out and perhaps get larger space. They're looking for quality of life. And as I mentioned earlier, longer term renting. So that, a lot of people read the news and they look at this and they think about their own selves, which is great. But as property investors, you want to wear your property investor hat and think, how could I actually seize the opportunity? Where are some of the golden goose property investing hotspots that we should be looking at so that we can really seize the opportunity? I'll be sharing that much more in detail during my golden goose property webinar as well. Number 7, more importantly, it's not just about properties being affordable or cheap, but that the properties are able to generate passive income. A lot of people invest in countries, for example, like Australia. And I can tell you that most of the cities in Australia, if you look at the rent minus the mortgage, you're probably not going to get very much passive income. So in the UK, if you have the right formula, and I can show you a step-by-step process of how to do your due diligence to zone into the exact property that will generate you passive income of 500, 1,000, 2,000 a month. All right, the sky's the limit. I have properties that generate 4,000 to 5,000 pounds a month in rental income alone. Passive income really is something that would really bring you freedom. A lot of people are very good at either in their day jobs, or that you could be good in the stock market or crypto or trading. This is still an active income strategy, whereas passive income is something that, regardless of what you're doing, you could be sleeping, you could be anywhere in the world, your assets are working hard for you, generating income every single month. And this is a deal that actually one of our clients, one of our students have bought just this year, in fact. And this is a multi-let property. If you can look at the pictures, it's done up, comfortable, ready for the tenants to move in. And these are some of the numbers. I know some of you love numbers. He bought it for about 200,000 Sing. This property was done up, and he receives a rent of 2,000 a month. And deducting all the other cost outgoings every month, which a lot of amateur investors forget to take into consideration, he still gets about 800 Sing dollars a month in profit. And that translates to a return on investment or a net yield of almost 10%, which is incredible. And I tell you, this is not like the best deal in the market. These are deals that a lot of myself and my students, we do and we hunt for. I would say just owning a few of these properties, would it make a big difference? What would you do if you could generate another $812 a month? Type it out in the comments section below. And how many properties would it need for you to cover your basic cost of living? I think in Singapore, most Singaporean households, if you look at just the bare minimum to cover your bills, food and stuff like that, probably can get by 3 to 4 grand, 4 to 5 grand. So one thing you want to be thinking about is, how many of these properties do I need to get myself to the point where I don't even have to worry about paying bills every month? And that, I think, is really a big step towards financial freedom. So number 8, there is a long-term growth potential even despite lockdown. In fact, lots of research has shown that rental prices are going to increase over the next few years just because of the demand in itself. And I think there's a 30% increase in demand for rental property in just the first quarter of 2021. There is a real demand. Even if people are not investors, people need homes to live in. There is always going to be a base level of demand. And in fact, the interesting thing that has come up in the midst of COVID is the demand for rental properties has gone up significantly. So once again, not just looking at the stats and analyzing till we're paralyzed on the data, but the question really to be asking ourselves is, as investors, how can we look at this? This is what the data says, but what's more important is, so what? What does it mean for us as investors? How can we seize the opportunities here to buy in places with great rental demand? In fact, you should be writing that note down. Right? I'm sharing lots of great tips of how we as professional investors do that. Number 9, there is lots of money, in excess of billions of dollars being poured into specific spots in the UK for regeneration efforts. So some of the towns have grown dated over time, but the councils, the government is committed to regenerate a lot of these towns. A lot of amateur investors will then buy smack into the town center. But then at the same time, that's where the price of the properties are going to be sold at a premium. For us, we're looking at where the regeneration is and where are some hotspots that would benefit from the positive effects of the regeneration, but at the same time not needing to pay the premium for a lot of the new built properties that are being sold there. And last but not least, number 10, this is just in 2021, right? The Global Cities Index has placed the UK, in fact, London, as one of the best places in the world to invest in. But for us and our students, we know that London is great to invest in, but there are places in the rest of the UK that give even more opportunities for passive income investing. Because London prices tend to be still higher, even though Singaporeans look at it, it's like, wow, half the price of a condo in Singapore. It's very cheap. Once again, friends, the real thing that you want to be looking at is, what are my returns on investment? What are my goals? And if you're investing for passive income, then can you get a better return? Can you get more passive income for the same amount of money invested, right? So in summary, these are the 10 factors that we have gone through. Type out in the comments below which factor really resonated with you. What are some questions that you have? And if you have found this video beneficial, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to this channel as well. I release videos every week, and that helps us beat the YouTube algorithm to be able to reach more people, to benefit more people, to make wise decisions with their monies and in their property investing. So this is Daniel. Till the next time, see you.